So, of course, Brent Venables had his daily presser, and we've got to talk about it because he kind of revealed a couple strategies that I didn't think he should say, but got your boy a little excited. Maybe a little hopium out there. Let's dive into some of the key things that Brent Venables said in his presser and what it could mean for this coming game against Texas. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners over at Prize Picks. Sign up with our code UNFAIR and you can get $50 on your first $5 lineup submitted. Code is in the description below. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. So, Brent Venables had the presser. You start talking about some players and, shout out to all the insiders. Of course, they gave you like a nice log of all the information that came from there, as well as posted on not only social media, but also on YouTube. You can go back and actually watch Brent Venables talk or whatnot. And for me, this is the things that really jumped out to me from this. First and foremost, on the defensive side of the ball, there's one player that's coming back. We talked about him a few days ago. I'm going to jump into it a little bit deeper. That's Dasan McCullough. So, the transfer from Indiana, he's been out the last 5 games. This season he's been out since fall because of a little injury to his foot. BV said it was like a little toe situation, and he's been in a boot. But BV talked about how he actually has been practicing over the last couple of weeks. And this is what he said. He said that he's going to have a role. He's been practicing for a few weeks now. He gives us another playmaker at a key position. How big of a role? That remains to be seen. So it appears that, he revealed a little something, but he took a little bit of it back, right? He doesn't want everybody to know fully what he's going to do. But at the same time, if you really think about it, when McCullough was out there, he was a part of that stance at the goal line. He was a part of that group. He had 5 tackles for a loss. He was all over the place in that game, and he was pretty disruptive. And so now Oklahoma gets him back after losing Kendall Doby, being that he was the cheetah. He kind of took that role when McCullough was dealing with injuries after the Texas game. Dasan was mainly your cheetah for most of last season. It was rotating between him and Kendall Doby, but with the way the defense has switched up, I'm sensing you're going to see Samuel Mosigo run that spot moving forward, but there is a chance that if we do pull out the 3-3-5, since technically Texas isn't the best running team right now, we pull up 3-3-5 and we stuff the run, there's a good chance you can have McCullough out there on the outside rushing on a regular basis. And if he's rushing, he was really good at it at Indiana, and he's getting back to his form, it's a good chance that he's going to be a disruptive force going against Texas. He's probably the one player I've been hoping to get back the soonest, especially there on defense, right? We're getting healthier. We're getting more healthy, and we look like we're in a better spot. So I like seeing that with McCullough. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I'm pretty stoked to see that. So BV also talked about another player that we know that we've been hoping to see, Jacoby Johnson. Let's dive into kind of what he said, kind of what he alluded to, and we'll try to decipher what he said. First, word from the sponsor. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this video. Prize Picks is the most fun I've had playing daily fantasy sports this football season. All you have to do is select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. And you can sign up today with our code UNFAIR and get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even have to win that lineup to get the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Like right now, Michael Hawkins is sitting here at 171.5 yards. You can pick the projection of more or less. Probably go ahead and dive on that more this weekend because I got faith in my guy. And Prize Picks makes it very simple to play. You can make those picks, submit your entries within 60 seconds. And y'all know how last minute your boy is, so you can get those in yourself. And Prize Picks always got promotions weekly, like, Taco Tuesdays, where they're giving you like a 25% discount on the projections so that you can get even more value. And so with basketball season coming up, there'll be more opportunities for you to play. So check them out. Go to prizepicks.com and use code UNFAIR to receive guaranteed $50 once you play $5 in lineups. Again, Check out prizepicks.com and use our code UNFAIR, as well as here on the link on the description below, as well as on the screen. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. So not only was Brent Venables excited about like Jacoby Johnson, and it appears that there's a good chance he's going to get some run. He talked about how they have some packages in preparation for Jacoby, and because he's got packages, that means that there's a good chance that we will see him on the field this week. Talked about this before. I sensed that they did not play him much against Auburn because, one, they didn't really need him as much. The offense seemed like it was starting to churn. But two, you don't want to put too much tape out there. Jacoby's an athlete. He's one of those players that you put him on the field, you get him in space, he can be a threat. And with the injury pieces looming on the wide receiver room, we talked about before, like Andrew Anthony doesn't look like he's going to be back for a few more weeks. Jalil Farouk's boot is off, but he's probably not going to be ready for a few more weeks. And we're still, up in the air with Deion Burks. We're waiting to hear what that looks like. You kind of need somebody that's willing to go out there and be a big-time playmaker. And the fact that Texas does not have tape on young Jacoby Johnson, and if Jacoby is catching up on stuff and he's ready to go, man, there's a good chance you can have him out there doing some crazy stuff, especially at his size at 6'2", 215. He's going to be tough to defend for that Texas secondary, and then having Michael Hawkins' capability of being able to run. Hey, there's a lot of possibilities. Now, I'm wondering what y'all think. What type of packages do you think Venables was alluding to when he was talking about Jacoby? I mean, I'm wondering, are they going to bring him in motion, put him in the backfield? Like, we know that Taylor Tatum, it looks like he's in the right direction. So I anticipate a lot more two back sets, right? Some 21 personnel, maybe some 22 personnel, get 2 tight ends out there with 2 running backs, play some just smash mouth football. I think that can happen, but you can bring out a Jacoby, put him in motion and keep him moving. That's going to keep that Texas defense on its toes, and that's what you really want. You don't want them knowing what's coming towards them. It's funny because the big thing Texas says is, what does Oklahoma do good on offense? We don't know anything about them, and that's kind of the point. And that's kind of the point of why a lot of us have a little bit of confidence in this game. We don't know what the offense is going to look like, but I can tell you this. We've seen nothing but improvement week over week from Michael Hawkins and the wide receiver room and the offense. And so if that's the case, the sense is if we keep improving, this could be the week where Hawkins can put up some big numbers. Maybe he can get for 200 yards passing. Maybe he can get closer to 300. Maybe he can get 100 yards rushing, right? Dylan Gabriel had the game of his career against Texas and leading to that victory, especially that game-winning drive. There's nothing saying that Michael Hawkins can do the same, especially as we go into the next portion of this, which is the offensive line having continuity. Brent Venables talked about that. It's great that the offensive line is healthy. And he basically said, we've got to be better there. We did some good things against Auburn, but not enough of them. The bottom line result is it hasn't been good enough. But he thinks that with the continuity, things are going to be moving forward in a better direction. We got that, right? You've got Tarkin, you've got Sexton, you've got Hickman, you've got Waywu, right? You've got Taylor, you've got continuity across the line. You've got Troy Everett now who's healthy and he's bigger, so he's ready to play out there if you need him at guard. You've got players now that are healthy on the line, something we did not see to start the season. This could be where we turn things around. Continuity is critical in the offensive line. Y'all know I've preached that sermon here numerous occasions. If Oklahoma can get the continuity going on the offensive line, Texas might not know what hit them. Looking at the competition they played, we'll talk about that later this week. I'm going to have a video on that. We're going to go through. Shout out to my guy Jacob over there at the tunnel. He pointed out, the who Texas has played, who we played in comparison, looking at the rankings today. Hey, man, our defense has played against a lot more competition in comparison. Just saying. Not saying that Texas ain't played nobody. They went up to the big house and won the game, which is a big deal. Michigan ain't looking very good. So we'll see what they finish out the end of the season and how good of a win that becomes. But at the same time, Oklahoma has seen some things. And because we've seen some things, now we can prepare ourselves for this team. If Quinn plays, the most important thing is to hit him as often as possible. Nothing dirty, but actually tackle him, right? Get some sacks. Make him use that abdomen and make him breathe. Then make him bring in Arch and then confuse, throw as much random stuff at Arch as possible to get him confused. It's going to be tough. Not sure if it's a guarantee, but I'll say this. It's going to be fun. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. How y'all feeling about the news that McCullough's going to be back? How you feeling about the offensive line and continuity? How you feel about BV's excitement? Love to hear from you all. Got links in the description below for the interviews from the OU channel. You can see that. Go listen to BV. Let me know what y'all feel about that. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this video. They are hooking you all up, giving you $50 whenever you play your first $5 lineup. You get it instantly. You don't have to win. They're taking care of you. Check us out, Locked On Sooners, with me and John. We'll be talking about this a little bit more as well. We'll go back and forth and, yeah, chop it up soon. Peace.